keep Little Joan. Little Joan, spreading the news. All right, we're good. We're good. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ardent. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Ardent, checking in first as always. Joan, a mess as always. Welcome. I'm a little early. If that's okay. I like to get things started a little early tonight. Might keep it tight. Might keep it tight tonight if we can. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What went on this week? Well, this week was New Year's. So what did I do? Went to a New Year's Eve thing, and that was fun with some friends and my girl. Hello. That was nice. That was really nice. We watched the Blueberry Drop in Hamilton, which you can watch on now Hamilton Access. It's a local Hamilton TV station. You can watch it now on YouTube. So Hamilton or Access Hamilton it's called. So you can watch the giant blueberry drop. You can still just see it drop if you want in the fireworks if you missed it. You know, it's like New York Times Square, only much smaller. And if you want to hang out in Hamilton when it happens, you probably won't have to wear a diaper because you can't get to a bathroom because there won't be that many people there. Plus they had food and stuff. One of these days I gotta go. Gotta get everybody go. Arden is back. Hello, Arden. Then New Year's Day, I believe I had dinner with the folks. I think that was on New Year's Day. And then there was a dinner on Saturday because all my nephews and niece are going back to college, so we wanted to have one last sort of family meal with them. So that was nice. So a lot of food this week. My girlfriend's sister had a birthday, so we had a cake for her, and it's just been one thing. I went to go watch the Eagles today, which I don't care about the game. I'm not a sports ball guy. Nobody really cared about the game today because they didn't need to win it. It was one of those games. They're playing like their third string quarterback and their fourth string everything because it didn't matter if they won. Didn't matter. Ardent. Speaking of fireworks, when I did my New Year's Eve show, I had to use footage from 2023 because the provincial capital puts theirs off at 8 and there was no video online anywhere. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. You should watch the Blueberry Drop. Is Newfoundland in the same time zone? You on the West Coast or the East Coast? You're on the East Coast, I think. You're on the East Coast. I remember correctly. Check Google Maps. Newfoundland. Oh, yeah. You're very East Coast. In fact, you might be a time zone ahead of me. I don't know. You might be. Oops. Zooming in on the wrong thing. Let's try time zone map. Yeah, I think you're just out of my time zone. Ardent, LOL, maybe next year. No NFLD has their own time zone. And we're northeast of Maine. Yeah. Yeah, there you are there. It's the New York. You're not the East Coast Standard Time, right? Yeah, AST. We're EST. Right here. It's a terrible map, by the way. Yeah, EST. So you're an hour ahead of us. Oh, my God. What's going to happen in the next hour? Tell me the future, Ardent. So good to know. Good to know for next year. Where the hell was I now? Yeah, so it was more holiday. There was more holiday stuff this week for me than any other time. So tons of food. Tons of food. I'm very fat. And in fact, I'm the leftover king. I think some of you may have seen my video of if I become a ghost and I'm in the afterlife, one of my ghostly apparitions will be, I'll only be known as the Leftover King. And if you leave leftovers in your fridge, my ghostly visage will visit your leftovers and just sample them. Just sample a little bit. Just to taste them, because I love leftovers. Ardent, half hour NST. AST is a half hour behind us. Oh, weird. That's interesting. So, yeah, I love leftovers. So my fridge is full of leftovers from the holidays. But, the leftover, like, entrees, let's say, and salads and things like that, you got to eat them right away. I mean, salad might last you a day. Maybe. You might, under very unusual circumstances, you might get a second day out of the salad, depending on how you store it, depending on what it was made out of. But salad's not going to last. And entrees maybe go 3 days, depending on what it is. After that, what are you left with? Desserts. And I'm trying not to eat as many desserts as I used to. So they stack up even more because people just dump food on me, which I love, by the way. I'm not complaining about it. But the end result is that I now have a house full of candy, cookies, and cake. Not a bad position to be in, but it's also very tempting and fattening. So I'm going to start with the cake, I think, because the cake, I think the cookies will last longer than the cake, and I think the candy will last forever. So start with the cake and work my way down. So I have a dessert for the winter. And we're about to be hit by a big storm here in South Jersey. I think it starts late tonight. And then it clears up for the week, and then we get hit again next weekend. So, for us, a big storm, they're saying 4 to 5 inches, 3 to 5, something like that. Usually it's lower when it actually hits. Every once in a while it's higher for some reason, but 9 times out of 10, we don't get that much snow. And like if the needle moves like 2 or 3 degrees in the wrong direction, we'll either be frozen in or it'll all melt and it'll just be rain. Ardent, yeah, Newfoundland. NFLD is very unusual place time zone wise. We used to get WGBH Boston as our cable PBS channel, and that was an hour and a half behind us. Weird. Strange. You live in a strange and wondrous land, Newfoundland. Strange and wondrous. All right. It's 7 o'clock, so let's get into it. The box office. All right. So, this is January 3rd weekend where movies go to die. Now, New Year's Day sort of factors in. It's sort of an extra Sunday. Ardent, it is very much like the Pine Barrens. Ooh, neat. So, January is where movies go to die. Ardent, we even have areas we call the Barrens. Cool. LeMay is here. Hi, LeMay. Good to hear from you. I hope the book is going well. I'm working on my book too. Ardent says hi. So if new movies come out, and I see looks like one new movie dropped, it doesn't bode well. If your movie is dropping that for the next 2 months, it doesn't bode well. Because number one, they either just figured, let's just release it, try to make some money and be done with it. We don't have any confidence in it. Or, very rarely, they release it in January and February, hoping somehow it picks up some momentum and wins the week. So the movie company can come out and say, the number one movie in America is blah, blah, blah. And then blah, blah, blah get some more business because everybody goes, oh, I never heard of this movie. Let me go see it. I hear it's good. It's the number one movie. It must be okay. And then it's, terrible. Ardent, rom-coms are not doing well at Valentine's? Not particularly. Because who the hell goes to the movie? Who takes their sweetheart to a Valentine's Day movie? Maybe hardcore movie geeks. LeMay says hello, Ardent. Maybe hardcore movie geeks go to rom-coms, but really rom-coms are aimed at women. They're more aimed at women. So, yeah, couples maybe, but really women. I would say, because the guys aren't going to want to go to that. Ardent, LOL, Deadpool was released for Valentine's Day and did well. Yeah. Was it released then? Wait a minute. When was Deadpool released? Do you mean the first Deadpool? I don't remember. What is this? Ardent, ignore the question mark there. That was a typo. February 12th, 2016. Oh, the first Deadpool. Yeah, I mean, it was the first R-rated superhero movie, so I don't think they were confident with it. They felt like this could blow up in our faces because, again, I don't think Hollywood executives understand comic books. If they took the time to understand it just a little, or hire a guy like me just to give them a seminar on the friggin' medium, they would understand, like, no, that would be fine if Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool and curses through the movie. I could have told them that back in 2016. I could have told them that, yeah, the Deadpool fans will love that. Now, does that translate into a movie is their next question. Well, Ardent, no, and Deadpool was extremely obscure too. Yeah? But he has a fan base. That and Ryan Reynolds, and I think that was Ryan Reynolds' real return to comedy. He had done some rom-coms, but hadn't done comedy. So, it's a big hit. That's the important thing for Hollywood. It was a big hit. Now they look back on it and say, oh, yeah, we love R-rated superhero comedies. Well, let's do it. 10 million of them. Till they beat it to death with a stick. But I don't think Captain America 4 is going to be a comedy. In fact, I think it looks very, very serious and stupid. Serious, I mean, like they're trying to be serious. They're not trying to be stupid. I think it just looks stupid. The president keeps turning into a Red Hulk and I guess keeps trying to kill Captain America. I don't know. The whole plot sounds dumb. The leader is the villain in it. That got leaked via the toys, I think. Ardent. Oh, I'm going to laugh at Captain America 4. That's true. But it won't be because they made it funny. It will be because it's just, they just don't get it. Again, I could have told them in the seminar, I could have said, well, yes, there have been a black Captain Americas, and yes, the Falcon was Captain America for a short time. But every time, for the most part, the sales would dip in Marvel, and they would eventually bring Steve Rogers back. Even after they killed Steve Rogers, I think they brought him back. Even after they exposed him as a secret Hydra agent, I think they eventually undid that storyline too. Ardent, the leader, bwahahaha. See? You're right. Anyhow, the number one movie in America, up from 2, is Mufasa the Lion King. Well, finally, Disney got their wish. When you wish upon a giant pile of money, and you spend it on commercials telling people what to watch, your dreams will eventually come true if you spend enough. Ardent, One of us could have warned them not to skip Bucky. Yeah, Bucky would have been the obvious choice. Um, and then it could have been Bucky and or Captain America and the Falcon. I would have liked that. That could have been the TV show, Captain America and the Falcon. And then you could have killed off Bucky or something. I forget what happened to Bucky. Or he becomes Nomad. He gets disillusioned or something. And he becomes Nomad. And then, Falcon takes over. And then eventually Steve Rogers comes back. But I think what really killed it for Anthony Mackie was the D Plus miniseries where he lectured people on, I don't know, woke nonsense. You've got to do better, Senator. Okay. Thrills, chills, excitement, lectures. That's what I want to see from my superheroes. My superheroes standing up to the politicians by yelling at them and complaining like a bunch of Karens. Arden, Bucky's movie could have been darker and more Winter Soldier in tone, spies, etc. Almost a Marvel James Bond without the sex appeal. I think here's where Marvel blew it in my estimation. The character that needed a movie. Did I just spit on myself? I think I did. The character that needed a movie early on but didn't get one was Black Widow. Then they made one later, but by that time her character was dead, and that was a stupid thing to do. They looked, if you watch Thor Ragnarok, I think it was in Thor Ragnarok. Maybe it was the movie before that. No, I think it was Thor Ragnarok. They tee up one of the MC movies of that era. They tee up a story that could have happened between Black Widow and the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, but they didn't do it. Now that could have been an interesting movie. That would have been different from the comics. I don't think they ever had a Black Widow Hulk team up. So you could have had this doomed romance between Black Widow and the Hulk, and then it ends with I don't know, the Hulk dying, or he can't bear to be with Black Widow because he might kill her. If he gets angry, he can no longer control the anger inside him, something like that. That would have been cool. And you could have had some of the aspects of the spy stuff and the military stuff and the Hulk. Arden, oh yeah, they totally missed the bus with Black Widow. Yeah. And just a Black Widow movie, especially when initially when they introduced Black Widow, she was so hot, and they were playing that up. They gave her the long red hair, and they had her in sexy poses, and then all the woke stuff started creeping in. They slowly pulled that back for her. And Ardent, I think that was most possible after Avengers Age of Ultron. They could have done a spy movie with Hawkeye and Widow after the first Avengers movie. See all the Budapest fan poster artwork. Yeah, they mentioned a lot about that. They could have, and they, even if they didn't do a fan no, you're right. You're right. They just should have done it. A separate movie with those two would have been pretty cool. Kind of like a Bourne Identity, though, with like mild superhero powers. Then they could introduce some of the lesser superheroes, the ones that don't have all the big powers. They could have introduced, I forget her name. I think she's coming up in this movie, Captain America 4, Sabra, I think her name is. She's a superpowered Mossad agent who's in the MCU. They could have introduced her then. That would have been cool. Would have went with the theme. They could have introduced like the Paladin, Black Knight, like those guys. They're about their power level. Ardent, I think the studio was afraid to use the same characters outside the straight superhero genre. Bleach Demon is here. Greetings and salutations. Ardent hails Bleach Demon. Welcome, Bleach Demon. Silver Sable, says Ardent. Yes. She's a lot like Black Widow, though. That might have been confusing, but sure. Sure. I would have introduced Silver Sable before I introduced the other Black Widows, which I wasn't in love with. That whole storyline was like, eh. But they were teeing up, I think, and this is the problem with doing superhero movies and not recasting people. I think they were teeing up Scarlett Johansson to leave the franchise because she didn't want to keep doing it. Either because she wasn't getting what she wanted, or, it was a money thing. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to be pigeonholed in that role anymore. But, they could have just recast her. They could have just found another hot chick to play her. Same thing with all the other characters. They make them like James Bond. Then you don't have a problem. Then you have actors who are like, oh, I like this movie. I like this role. I don't want to leave. Arnett, well, come to think of it, Silver Sable's more of a Spider-Man character too, so Disney might had issues there. Oh yeah, she might be in the Sony catalog. Who knows? If that's true, if Silver Sable is in the Sony catalog, then Sony's stupid for not making a Silver Sable movie. Because that would have been perfect. Perfect movie to make. She probably wanted to be taken more seriously as an actress. Sydney Sweeney as Silver Sable. Oh, I could see that. Yeah. But again, I think if they just kept recasting people, you make all the characters like James Bond. I mean, they've already how many times have they recast the Hulk? Movie-wise, you got Eric Bana, Ed Norton, and then Mark Ruffalo. Ardent. Yeah, they could have cast Sydney Sweeney as Silver Sable going after Venom. Yeah. Something like that. Bleach Demon. Sony has really dropped the ball. Oh, yeah. Except for Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man's great. It's insanely great. I mean, Tom Holland is such the perfect Peter Parker. It's insane. And generally speaking, the movies are good. Although the MJ, I could do without Zendaya, but she's okay. I tolerate Zendaya. Mainly because Tom Holland is just so good in the damn role, I don't care. It was never about MJ anyway, but and anybody's better than Kristen Stewart. God, Kristen Stewart. I don't mind Kristen Stewart generally, but man, in Spider-Man, she was just so damn annoying. It's like, why did you make her so annoying, Sam Raimi? So yeah, it just, but that's the way movies are. Like, that the problem with doing the comics to the movies is sometimes the comic character is popular and the movie version isn't, and vice versa, and then you got a real problem. So you have this huge problem in the MC cinematic universe with the Fantastic Four, because they've never gotten the Fantastic Four right, yet in the comics the Fantastic Four was a major factor in the MCU, or in the comic universe, for decades. Although now they're kind of, really the entire Marvel universe is on its last legs, but for a long time the Fantastic Four was a major pillar. Bleach Demon. With the MCU, if they were smart, Sony or Marvel, they would run with the parallel versions of major characters. They could easily do different but familiar characters. Yeah, maybe. Ardent, just checked. Sony does have Silver Sable and a pile of terrible C-list lower characters. I mean, what the hell is Light Bright? I don't know that one. But Silver Sable would have been... See, you have to do good guys for this superhero stuff to work. Doing Kraven as a character was utterly insane. Again, a comic book fan could have told these guys in 10 seconds who would have made a good choice for a lead character. So a character like Silver Sable, I mean, you've got everybody in Hollywood wanting to do these woke movies with female leads. You got Silver Sable and you don't use her? Why? You go to Mobius with Jared Leto. Ugh, no. And that wasn't the worst choice as a character. Unfortunately, didn't work. Jared Leto's kind of terrible in my opinion, and I mean I think it just had a bad script. But Silver Sable would have been on the top of the list. Black Cat also at the top of the list, another female character. After that, it gets really tough. But those three characters, Silver Sable, Black Cat, and Morbius, are all, they're good, kind of good guys. They're dark, but they're mostly good guys. So you could make them the main character and then, spin off some other villains from it or whatever. Ardent, and Morbius is one of the most high-profile characters Sony has. Yeah, they kind of blew that. Bleach Demon, it would be great to see Joan Grufford return as Mr. Fantastic with not a crap script. Oh, Ian? Do you mean Ian? Or Eon? Eon? Which one was he? I don't remember which one was he. Was he the Mr. Fantastic with Jessica Alba? Or are you talking about the guy who got saddled with the B-movie Fantastic Four script that never saw the light of day after they shot it? Ardent, yes. The Kraken is here. Release the Kraken. And you have. Is this Marvel or DC? I am not into this stuff enough to know. Sorry. We're talking all Marvel right now. These are all Marvel characters. These are all obscure. They're all obscure Marvel characters. Most people wouldn't know them. Ardent, yes, it would. At the Kraken, Sony's Marvel characters. Ardent, Owen, I think. The Jessica Alba, Mr. Fantastic, yeah. Gruffud. Welsh names are weird. Man, they are. Bleach Demon, the first Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba. Oh, okay. Yeah, he wasn't bad. I mean, he looked the part. Pedro Pascal, just so wrong. He would have been a better Doctor Doom, quite frankly. If Robert Downey Jr. hadn't already played Tony Stark, he'd be a good Mr. Fantastic. You need an older actor. The Kraken. I want to see a Squirrel Girl appearance then. Ew. I don't think you're going to see that. No, thank you. No, thank you. All right. So Mustafa the Lion King ends up number 1 after being at number 2 last week. Disney gets its wish, spending a boatload of money to re-energize the movie, basically. Ardent, John Krasinski wasn't a bad choice for Richards. Yeah, he's a little too young, a little too handsome, not quite the egghead we need. Don the Second is here. How's it go, Pineys? It goes pretty good. Bleach Demon, Pedro Pascal is an actor I've learned to hate. It's like finding a gum on your shoe when Pedro is in a movie. You spelled it pedo. Ardent says hello, Don. By the way, Don, I did do a trailer breakdown of The Studio with Seth Rogen, if you want to say it. I was sort of avoiding it, but then when you asked about it, I said, I'll do it. Yeah, Pedro is just... He's kind of insufferably woke, or he's pretending to be. I can't quite figure out. Although one movie I still want to see him in is that movie. It's with Nicolas Cage, where Nicolas Cage plays himself and Pedro Pascal plays this billionaire who's his biggest fan and hires him to hang out with him on an island, and he's really a total goofball. I kind of want to see that movie. But Pedro is kind of insufferable as a human being. I get the vibe. So I don't like him, and I feel like Mr. Fantastic has to be played by someone who he's got to be older. He's got to have a sciencey vibe about him, and he's got to be like Bill Nye the Science Guy, only credible. I can't think of an actor off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of one. Someone in the age range of Michael Douglas, maybe a little younger than that. Oh gosh. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Somebody who's smart, but who plays smart characters. Yeah. I'm sure there's an actor out there somewhere who'd be good for it. Number 2, dropping from 1, is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 21 million. Let's see what Mufasa is doing in terms of box office. 476 worldwide. Sonic the Hedgehog still beating it domestically, and 336 worldwide. So Mufasa is doing better overall. Sonic, though, has it opened in China yet? No. Hasn't opened in China yet. This could do insane business in China. It opens on January 10th in China for some reason. This could, Sonic in China, it could do like 100 million. I don't know. So, just in China, I'm talking. I mean, there's a lot of moviegoers there. See, Hollywood? You could do a movie that's true to its character and sell it to China. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to suck up to them. Number 3 is Nosferatu. I reviewed this movie. In its second week, dropping 39%. It's getting good buzz. Ardent, like Bill Nye, but trustworthy. Yes. Bleach Demon. Bill Nye, the cat effer. The cat effer? He effed a cat? According to a rumor, I'm assuming. Ardent, at Bleach Demon, Lamau. I hadn't heard the cat effer rumor. Is that true? Is there any truth to that rumor? Or was that some sort of nasty thing you just made up? Nosferatu, 13.2 million. Did 100, cracked 100 mil. I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. I liked some of it. I think Bill Skarsgård had way too much makeup on. I mean, I couldn't even tell who he was. I think William Dafoe in that was super overrated. I mean, he's good, but they didn't give him much to do. I don't know. It's probably because I had recently seen the 1977 Dracula with Louis Jourdan, who wasn't great in it, but everybody else around him was amazing. And it's the same story. So, Ardent, Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper. Maybe. I mean, he's a little too handsome. If they nerded him up a little bit, yeah, maybe. LeMay, one of the Kraft brothers? The guys who make that cheese? Let me see who you mean. Kraft. Lindsay Kraft, Sammy Kane Kraft. Kraft brothers. Are they on here? Chris Pratt? Is this a cartoon? Is this a cartoon I'm unaware of? Kratt Brothers, 2003. I don't know. I don't know the Kratt Brothers. Or the Kraft Brothers. Oh, no, you did say the Kratt Brothers. Oh, here they are. American Zoologist. I don't know. I don't know if they're smart enough to play. I mean, they look the part. They look the part, but I don't know if they're actors, so maybe. Ardent. Bill Crudup has a good look for Richards. Okay, let's see what he looks like. We're casting now, Hollywood. Now we're doing all your work. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. How old is he? 68. He was born, so he's 2 years younger than me, so 56? Yeah. Yeah, okay, there, right there. That, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could definitely see him for Richards. He's got even the gray temples in that shot. Ardent, I'm buffering bad, about 3 minutes behind. My internet is apparently broken. Oh, sorry. Don't worry about it. We're only talking about Nosferatu. Yeah, so Nosferatu I didn't like. I liked parts of it. Everybody's kind of raving about it, and I just don't quite get the appeal. Ardent, LOL, Bill Nye, the cat effer guy. Bleach Demon, it rhymes close enough for me. Next up, number 4, dropping from 5, or no, going up from 5, Moana 2. 12.3 million. I can't wait for this movie to go away so I could stop saying Moana. I don't know. I don't want to see this movie. I have no interest in it. My God, it's almost done $1 billion. Oh, God, we're going to have to see Moana 3. I'm going to have to say Moana 3. 40 million from doing that. Could it make it? It did 12 million? It could make it. I mean, next week, let's say, might only drop to like 8, but it's January, so it might drop like a rock. So say 6, 3. We'll definitely do another 10. And then maybe 10 overseas. So, yeah, it might make it to $1 billion. It's going to be close, though. Jeez. They put Oppenheimer in the theaters for I don't know how many weeks, and I could tell they were trying to get it to crack $1 billion, and they couldn't do it. But I think Moana could do it fairly easily. Number 5, dropping from 4, is Wicked at 10.2 million. God, I don't care about this movie, or I just don't see the appeal at all. But I hate musicals in general. Number 6, A Complete Unknown in its second week, dropping only 31%. Okay, so this guy has some legs at 8 million. Ardent, saw a short with Bill Skarsgård talking about wanting to play Batman and the Joker. He'd be a good choice for the Batman who laughs. Yeah, I can't see him being a good Batman. I could see him being a good Joker. It would be weird to cast him as both, but after what happened with The Crow, I think he should just be happy as a career. So yeah, A Complete Unknown at 8 million. It's done 41 million. What did this thing cost? Don't know. So probably money. Probably didn't cost that much, although it is a period piece, so you can go nuts with that. LeMay, LOLOL. Number 7, dropping from 7. Baby Girl, Nicole Kidman's movie, 4.4 million. This movie looks dirty. It's in its second week. It's NC. Why NC? Oh, no change. No change, huh? So I guess it made about 4.